Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Deters Show. As always, we're sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga. Check us out on all of our platforms. Well, Israel is calling up 300,000 troops. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to take over the Gaza Strip. Some reports have been coming out. 40 kids massacred, children beheaded. I mean, women being raped and tortured. Folks, these are animals. These are animals. There's going to be a lot of stories like this coming out of heroes. Inbar Lieberman, unbelievable. She killed about 7 of the Hamas terrorists herself, gave guns out to the others who killed others. They killed a couple dozen terrorists. She is going to be a legend in Israel. I said this last night on the Facebook Live. Hamas overplayed their cards. This is so bad. I don't know what their game plan was, but this is so bad. No one can take their side. You can't take the side of those who massacre children. They overplayed their cards. Gigi Hadid, a very well-known model over here who's a Palestinian, this is how bad it is. She had to condemn the actions. Thousands have been killed. Thousands more are going to be killed. Let's hope there's more Hamas killed than Israelis. The White House spoke finally. It only took them 5 days, and they condemned the squad. But by the way, you talk about someone as being isolated. The squad. By the way, the ramifications of this politically, maybe Oman can go down in Minnesota. We'll see. Black Lives Matter groups praised it. Praised it. You know what? Black Lives Matter is our domestic terrorist group. They are. No question about it. Andrea Mitchell was interviewing somebody, couldn't make this up, a survivor. And actually had the nerve to say, well, what about those in Gaza being killed? Unbelievable. A safe room was breached. This couple right here. Now just look at this. This couple and those kids. They were texting saying they were safe in a safe room. It got breached. Hamas slaughtered those 5 people. Look at that family. All killed. I'm telling you, these stories changed everything. There will not be a Palestinian state. This is an interesting story. These parents who hid their twins and they were discovered safe, the mom and dad were killed. They killed 7 Hamas before dying. Good for them. Israel has seized crypto of Hamas and other financial resources. Boy, you always got to cut off the funding, which, just think about it, flies completely in the face of what this administration and the Obama administration did relative to refunding Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas. I mean, it makes no sense. No sense. It's sick. It's sick. Biden helped refund Iran. Where do you think all the money that came to fund this and all these missiles being fired? By the way, I understand the Iron Dome caught about 90% of the missiles being fired from Lebanon and other places. CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Company, circulated a memo, do not call Hamas terrorists. Bad look. The United States is sending Delta Force and SEAL Team 6 in to help try to get the hostage back. Now, folks, I want to tell you something. Last week, the military announced they want to cut these type of forces. I mean, does the Biden administration do anything right? No, they don't. Nothing right. An Israeli cop killed a couple with one hand, firing. Good for him. He's going to be a hero. Biden's administration gave $730 million to United Nations anti-Jewish group. Can't make this stuff up, folks. Meanwhile, Iran and Khomeini praised Hamas. This guy praised the butchering, massacring, and murdering of women and children and innocents. It's pretty unbelievable, isn't it? You ready for this? Josh, you're going to love this one. The binary New York Bar Association person, them or whatever her freaking pronoun is, also backed Hamas. Now let's talk about something a little lighthearted. Aaron Rodgers did not take Kelsey hitting back about that he works for the owner of Johnson & Johnson or one of the heirs of Johnson & Johnson. You can't make this up. Rodgers says he throws down, he and RFK Jr. in a fight between Kelsey and Fauci, a cage fight, tag team. That's hysterical. You go, Aaron Rodgers. Riley Gaines was speaking at Penn, and some people disrupted her table, and they've now been charged. By the way, I like Riley Gaines, and I support her cause, but she's an example. I hate these one-trick ponies over and over and over, and they get all this press. Josh, it brought me, okay, we know the issue. Tuberville has referred former CIA man, head Michael Hayden, to the Capitol Police for charges in his role in January 6th. Interesting. You can't make this up, and I'm going to make, remember, we are not politically correct. This is funny. Congressman Mace wore a scarlet letter A because, she voted against the Kevin McCarthy. And, this is funny, but a buddy of mine sent me a text and he goes, man, I don't see anything due to May's hotness. Nobody sees the A. Get it? Right. Putin, there's a report that Putin is near death and they're squabbling over who's his successor. The Amish, this is funny, Josh Wentz. The cell phone started ringing. The national emergency phones. Oops. Little Johnny Amish boy had a cell phone. I feel so. Hezekiah, that's a good, you're better, not Johnny. Hezekiah. Oh, Hezekiah, I'm sorry, buddy. 17 states in this country have had their income drop. Yeah, you guessed it. Kentucky's one of them. Gallego, the Democrat, is winning. Sinema's now an independent. The U.S. Senate race against Kari Lake Sinema, the Arizona United States Senate race. Kari Lake announced yesterday, and that announcement including the Trump endorsement. Alan Weaselberg, Trump's former accountant, yesterday testified, and there was like 90 times he didn't remember something. That's a guy who's cooperating, but not cooperating, if you know what I mean. Steve Garvey, the former L.A. Dodgers Hall of Famer, first baseman. Steve Garvey, he was a hell of a player, is going to run as a Republican for the United States Senate in California. Can't make this up, Josh Wentz. 25,000 emails from Joe Biden's vice president's office related to Hunter Biden and his business dealings. Folks, all you Kentuckians, this has to do with Rand Paul and Thomas Massie. Rand Paul hasn't said a word about just what went down in Israel. I get Rand Paul's newsletter yesterday. Rand Paul's newsletter does not even mention what happened in Israel. It has now been 6 days, no comment from either of these fellas about what went down. Thomas Massie, the perverted, weirdo, married gay man on the left, that guy hasn't said a freaking word. And you know what? He voted with the Democrats against the Abraham Accords. Both of them voted against Iron Dome funding. I think I'm going to smoke his ass when I run against him, Josh Wentz. Congressman Jeffries is being nominated as Speaker of the House for the Democrats. Of course, he's not going to win, but they're having fun. Speaking of the Speaker race, the Republicans think they will have a Speaker soon, and it's probably going to be Jim Jordan. Santos had a superseding indictment, more charges. You know what he did? He stole credit card information and stole money from donors. This guy deserves jail. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has her day. Have a great one.